Welcome back, everybody, to another Digital Gate Studios production. Basil,
We made it.
BT14 is
Yeah.
here. We made it through the drought.
I've got good news and I've got bad news.
Okay.
The good news is we've got a lot of BT14 decks coming.
Yep.
Bad news is I don't think we have them ready for the channel quite yet.
Yeah.
What we do have ready is a lot of decks that were waiting for one specific card.
Yeah.
And that is the training cards.
Yeah.
These are something that we've been looking forward to for a lot of time.
Yeah.
A lot of our favorite decks play Tamers.
Since the summer, really. It's been a long time.
And those memory boosts just send them right to the bottom of the deck, and
Yeah.
you're just fighting an uphill battle for the entire game. This is one of the decks I was looking forward to the most with trainings. People have been calling it Millith Loop.
Yeah.
When I first saw this deck, it topped a tournament in Japan,
Okay.
and it was playing 4 of every boost and 4 training.
Oh, wow.
And it had a strategy to mill your opponent out with the Growlmon line and Creepymon.
Oh.
And so this is sort of my version of it.
Okay.
So we'll jump in, starting with the Digitama. We're going to start off with Digimon. And the interesting thing about Digimon is its effect. You do activate it as part of the combo, which I'll talk about a little bit later on.
Okay.
But the big reason we're playing it is a purple Digitama called Digimon, which is going to be really relevant for all of our level 4s.
Yeah.
Or all of our level 3s, I mean. And we'll jump into said level 3s with the EX3 Guilmon.
Okay.
This is on deletion, delete a 3K. If not, both players mill 2.
That happens more than you think.
Yeah, it's the floodgates are going to be pretty relevant this format. I think there's a lot of unchecked memory gain, a lot of reduced Digivolution cost, stuff like that. So that's going to happen. But the most important thing is it's going to mill 2 on deletion.
Gotcha.
And that's sort of the main strategy of this deck.
It's kind of like Fireball, but on a card.
It's Fireball on a card, and it's instead of draw 2, both players mill 2.
Interesting.
And milling in this deck is important to set up your own strategy, as well as the win condition of this deck is your opponent has no cards left.
Gotcha.
The next is the EX4 Guilmon. This is on play. It gains Rush if there are 20 or more cards in trash.
Oh.
This is one of your finishing pieces. We'll get in a little bit later on. The level 5 will play a Guilmon from trash for free. And so when you play it for free, it has Rush. And that's pretty relevant for a lot of the strategies in this deck.
Is it 20 in both trash combined? Or just in yours?
In both players, yeah,
Yeah.
combined.
So you can get that-
Kind of like the BT13 Gallantmon.
Gotcha. So you can get that out pretty quick.
Yes, true. And then our last level 3 is the BT5 Guilmon. This is when the purple Guilmon line started. That's where the egg is from. It has, if this card is deleted by an effect, gain 1. Another key to this deck, we are going from 3 to 6 to 7 in one turn with this deck a lot of the times. And this is one way to squeeze out a little bit more memory. One of the ways that we reduce or we make our evolution line cheaper is we are playing the EX2 Alice, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. So when you play this with the War Growl, you can delete it, but with Alice's effect, and it makes your Evo from 5 to 6 0, and then you gain 1.
Yeah.
So
Seems
just
good.
eight on the rookie lineup, and it seems like not a lot because it isn't a lot.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Digimon in this deck because the most important thing to have is a lot of options.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very sparse on the rookie lineup. I know your intuition is play more Digimon to increase consistency, but there's a lot of search and draw and memory gain, so don't worry about it too much. Into the level 4s, the first one is the EX4 Black War Growl. This has when Digivolving mill 2, then grab a Geel, Growl, or Gallant from the trash.
That's strong. Yeah.
We are not playing Gallantmons as our level 6s, but a lot of the times you will not have your level 5 in hand, and then when you promote an Evo into this, you can mill 2 and then grab one from the trash. So if one is in the trash and you have this card, it is effectively in the hand. And the reason we play 4 of this one is because it has on deletion, grab back a Geel, Growl, or Gallant. So when our stack dies, which is part of our combo we'll talk about later, you can grab back the piece you're missing for your next stack.
Gotcha.
And so that's pretty important because obviously not a lot of Digimon, so you are going to need to grab the ones back that you're missing. The other level 4 is the Growlmon from EX3. This one is errata. It is not on deletion activated effect. It's when digivolving.
Oh, that's right.
It is the same effect as the Guilmon mill 2, or delete a 3K if not both players mill 2. And then it has the inheritable of security attack +1 by deleting one of your other Digimon.
Oh, that's good. So that pairs well with the memory gain one.
Yeah, it comes up a lot less rare because very few times in this deck are you winning by clearing your opponent's security
that's
and
not
then
the win
swinging
con for the
game.
Yeah.
But there are niche instances where that is how you win, so it's worth mentioning. And that's it on the level 4s.
Wow.
So just 6 level 4s. It's a very bare bones strategy, but
it's purple. You can get them out of trash.
Yeah. It's really easy to get those pieces. Next, we've got the War Growlmon from EX3. This is the when digivolving mill 3. Then, if there's 5 in trash, play a Guilmon or a Tocado from trash. I've seen people playing lists that do mess around with Tocado for a blitz effect, and then they play, either Magidramon or Chaos Gallant or BT13 Gallant. And I think that's perfectly fine. But in this strategy, we're sticking just towards the mill engine.
Yeah.
And then
that's more of the aggression. Engine, right?
Yeah. And so the reason this is good, obviously you can play this Guilmon to go into 6 and then gain a memory. You can play this Guilmon to go into a 6 and then mill 2 more.
Oh, that's good.
Can be helpful. Or you can play this one and it has rush, and then you can go into the finishing blows. Our level 6 lineup. The first is Lilithmon.
There she is.
Lilithmon is the key to this deck. If you have enough memory to get into a level 6, you have enough memory to get into a level 7.
Yeah.
Because Lilithmon is going to grab 2 purple options from trash. I'll give you a hint. Some of our options gain us memory.
0 cost options in Basil's deck? No way.
And then it gains memory even more. So basically, if you have 1 or 2 Jack Raids, you can get up to 5.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Because your first Jack Raid is going to give you at least 3.
At least
probably.
3, probably.
Yeah, more than 4.
And then one last level 6 in the deck, and that is Creepymon.
Oh.
This is your win button in the deck. If you can get to 30 in your trash, it's going to mill 9. And at that point in the game, 9 is probably the rest of probably the rest of the cards in your opponent's deck.
The mill is when attacking?
It's when digivolving mill 2 from my deck.
Right.
And then that's for every Digimon that your opponent has.
Yeah.
And then when attacking, for every 10 in my trash,
that's what
mill 3.
Gotcha.
So you're pretty much never going to mill 12. It's impossible to do that in most cases.
It's very key. You want to be able to digivolve and attack in the same turn.
Yes.
You do not want to pass turn with Creepy on board.
Correct.
Got it.
And then the last Digimon in the deck is our very top end, which is Shine Gray Ruin Mode.
Card is a menace.
So, like I said, the important thing is having enough memory to go from Guilmon to Lilithmon, which you'll see is very possible. And then the important thing with Lilithmon is we can get enough memory to go from Lilith to Shine, and it's still our turn. Because you digivolve into Shine, activate the minus 5k to their board, swing with the Shine, activate 5 more again, delete one of their Digimon, recover 1. So basically, it stalls them out for a turn.
Yeah.
And then if you have a tamer, hatch an egg. And then from there, you can build up your line again and then hopefully kill them on that next turn.
Well, and it stalls them out, but it also depletes a ton of their resources in the process.
Yeah. Basically, there are very few decks that's going to have a turn after you digivolve and swing with Ruin Mode on the same turn.
You have to promote a 6, essentially.
Yeah.
Which most people don't put 6s in
Most people don't
raising.
put 6s in the raising.
Yeah.
So that's it for the Digimon. A very sparse lineup, but I think a lineup that has enough consistency to where you're going to make it through to your line. So we'll get into the options. The first is Quadruple Jack Raid.
Surprise, surprise.
It's a very important card in the deck. It's going to make sure you have the memory to go into your line. If you are short on memory in any instance, you can Jack Raid, Evo into Lilithmon, grab it back, Jack Raid again. You're almost always going to have 10 in trash. A lot of times you're going to have 20 in trash. Just an extremely valuable card. I think very highly of it. Also out of security
it's
game
insane.
2.
Yeah,
it's extremely disruptive card.
Ice Wall, Hammer Spark out of security.
Yeah. Then we'll get into the card of the hour, the Wisdom Training.
There we go.
Wisdom, I was playing this deck a lot before the Wisdom Training because we had success with the Black War Greymon deck without the training, so I figured this might be good as well. The issue with this is we are playing so few Digimon that Purple Memory Boost whiffs a lot.
Yeah.
Wisdom Training is ridiculous in this deck.
Unwhiffable.
Because of it is unwhiffable. The entire deck
literally
is
everything. Yeah.
So it's really, really strong in this deck. As well as reducing Digivolution cost is going to be really helpful. Again, you need to be able to go from Guilmon to Lilithmon to Shine in one turn, basically.
The good thing about that deck, too, is there's a lot of decks that run those training boosts that can't deal with floodgates. That one very easily pops Cutemons all day long.
Cutemons and Syakumons are going to die. Next, we still do run Purple Memory Boost out of 3 of. The card is still very good because the reason it's better than Wisdom Training is it digs 4.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times your opening hand will not have a rookie in it. But you still will keep it because it has a lot of the other good stuff.
The boost, yeah.
And so Purple Memory Boost is going to dig the furthest for a Guilmon, which is nice. But it is going to whiff a lot of the times, so don't feel discouraged about that. Then we've got 3 Mist Memory Boost. Mist Memory Boost is a little bit more risky in this deck.
Yeah.
Blind Mill is good once you're going into your line. But before you go into your line, it's a little bit weird because you could Blind Mill, Guilmon, and then grab a Jack Raid turn 1, and that feels horrible. So sort of to counteract the detriment of the Mist Boost, we've got 3 Glaive Boost.
Makes sense.
And the reason that this card is really good is because we have no way to recur Lilith, Creepy, and Shine Ruin mode with these cards. Because the Black Growl grabs a Gil Growl Gallant, when Digivolving and on deletion. The War Growl plays a Gil from trash, but these pieces are not grabbable by any of our other Digimon line.
You have to rely on them being purple.
Yeah. So the Glaive Memory Boost helps a lot. The other card that helps us get stuff back from the trash is 3 Rivals Barrage. Rivals Barrage, obviously a very good kill spell out of security.
Absolutely.
But also you're going to end up milling this card a lot. So this can grab back a purple Digimon or a Tamer, which is important because we do need both of those for our full combo. So being able to, like I said, grab back the missing Lilith, that creepy mon for the end game, or the Shine, really important. Or just grab one of your things, one of your Guilmon or Growlmon's line to continue your turn. And more mill effects is 2 of the Deathslinger.
Gain a memory. Right?
Gains a memory when you mill, and another threatening kill spell and security, because you're going to have a lot of cards in the trash. So it can easily delete a level 6 and sometimes even a level 7.
Gotcha.
We are down on the Deathslinger and the Rivals Barrage. We had to make room for the Wisdom Training.
Yeah.
But one of the weaknesses of this deck, the security is not very threatening at all.
Yeah.
Like, it is going to set up your memory a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But most of the time, their swings aren't going to die into security.
Yeah, it's like Rivals Barrage and Jack Raid are probably your 2 craziest things. Yeah.
And so my original intuition with this list was to keep all the boosts at 4, which is how the Japanese player did it, which I think is a perfectly reasonable way to go. Is to just go to 4, 4, and 4, and then cut down on these.
Yeah.
But I think having a little bit of extra threat out of security is really strong.
Especially against those fast decks, like red hybrids and stuff like that. You need something to kind of...
You have to slow your opponent down well enough so that you can set up your mill, or else you're just going to get ran over.
Yeah.
We do play 1 Calling from Darkness. It's really good in this deck. If your opening turn is like training or boost or something, and then their opening turn is like they're playing like D Brigade or some kind of rush deck, or red hybrids, and their turn is like rookie in the back and then searcher, and then they promote and double swing and hit 2 Digimon.
Yikes.
You can just Calling from Darkness, grab them, and then you pretty much have your whole line, and you might even have enough memory to
do your thing
the next turn. And the last card in the deck,
Hey,
Triple Alice.
There she is.
Alice is one of those weird cards. It has an effect where you don't need to suspend her.
So weird.
So it basically says go from a 5 to a 6 for free in this deck because your War Growl is going to play a rookie. The Alice effect is going to delete that rookie to go into Lilith or Creepymon 4/0, and then either gain 1 or mill 2. So that's the deck. The interesting thing about this deck is once it gets going, there is one card in the game that is counterplay, or 2 cards in the game that's counterplay. It's Omnimon Merciful Mode and Avenged Kid.
Yeah.
It is a very uninteractive deck once they get to a certain point, because basically every turn they're going to be able to go Guilmon, promote the Guilmon. We'll use boost, 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 go to 7. We'll go into Black Growlmon for 0 from the training, mill 2, War Growl, mill 3, Alice effect, go into Lilith for 0, Lilith, Jackraid, go into Shine Ruin mode and swing.
Yeah.
Hatch an egg, recover 1, delete a Digimon, blanket -10,
Yeah.
do it all again next turn. This is, I think, one of the biggest arguments for cards like Jackraid to be restricted and Calling from Darkness to go to 0. I think that that's how I would do it. But give it a try. I think it's a really strong deck, and I think it's one of the ones that abuses training cards the best.
All right. Well, thank you, Basil, and thank you guys for watching. If you guys don't know, we do a weekly podcast. Check it out. It'll be at the end. There'll be a playlist for you to click. And like, comment, subscribe. We got a ton more decks coming for you. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.